he's making here. It's 3:40. All right, it's almost 4 o'clock, and I want to go to sleep soon. So we're gonna go conduct our first EV experiment. All right, we're gonna start it up in EV mode. As you can see, it's charging right now. All right, you can see before it was charging. All right, but we're gonna turn it on and we're gonna put it in my room mode. And what my room mode does is basically turns the car on, but you can't drive it. All right, and you can use the HVAC system. All right, so here we go. Turn it on. My room mode, yes. Okay, you can see. So it's like it's kind of in EV mode. Maybe tomorrow I'll unplug it and it'll think, but we'll leave it in my room mode right now. All right, here we go. We're gonna go auto on, turn the AC off, and listen. I hear it. Nothing. Wow, it warms up way faster. Yeah, it heats up way faster when it's in EV mode, when it uses the heat pump. That tells you how good that heat pump is. Anyway, it's 41 degrees out right now, guys. It is cold. 41. All right, you can hear a humming. All right, you can hear humming of the heat pump or the compressor, right? But it didn't make the loud noise. What the heck, man? I'm kind of, what the heck? It's very cold right now. Okay, anyway, so that's it. I'm gonna go to sleep, and then when I wake up, we're gonna go do it again. All right, it'll probably be daylight then, but what I'll do is unplug the car. All right, we'll unplug it from the charger, and then we'll try it again, and we'll start it up straight from EV mode. Look at how much power it's eating up. So you can see the charge level indicator. See what that big yellow arrow means? Means there's more power coming out of the battery than there is going into the battery, right? And that's because we're charging from a level 1 outlet, all right? We're just only using 120 volts, so there's not a lot of power coming in to use to warm the vehicle up. Now, I'd imagine once the vehicle is warmed up, it's probably it'll probably start charging the battery more. Okay, but actually, right now it's actually losing power for the battery. Oh, not to mention, I think what's happening is it's also heating the battery up. All right, so it's probably trying to keep the battery warm because it's so cold outside. All right. Because, you know, lithium-ion batteries, they don't like being cold, right? So yeah, okay, so that takes care of our first EV test, all right? EV mode test. All right, we did all the hybrid tests. We did 4 hybrid tests, and then this is our first EV test. Okay, then the second one we'll do in the morning, all right, when the sun comes up. All right, here's my go. Let's turn this off. Look at that. immediately the green arrow got bigger when I turned the heater off. It's nuts, right? All right, here's my go. All right, here's me here. It's the morning. I think it's about almost 8 o'clock, between 7 and 8. And so I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this. Probably helps if I have my key here. It's still pretty cold. So what I think is when it's charging, I think it's warming the battery up. So it's actually the heat pump is actually working, you know. So we're gonna unplug this and then we'll try it again. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to reproduce it. Kind of sucks, man. Okay. So we're gonna go fire it up. I think the heat pump actually works when it's charging. So that's why it's probably not working. Alright, here we go. Sorry for the glare. 747. I'm gonna fire it up. Okay, it's 47 degrees still. It's left. Sun is coming up though. We're gonna hit auto. Turn the AC off. No, it's fine. I can hear it humming. It won't make the noise anymore, guys. What the heck, man? Yeah, it's fine. Alright, we got half a charge in the battery and it's in EV mode. Okay. Block the sunlight there. Yep, we're EV mode. Okay. Man, it's fine. What is it? The heat pump is much more efficient than running the internal combustion engine. Yeah, look at that. It's the fan is already on. Just a few seconds and the fan's already on. Yep, it's at 3 bars already. Okay. Well, okay, I guess that was another fail, guys. All right, so I'm gonna go back to sleep for a few hours, and then we're gonna go try this again. Okay, but yeah, it's running fine. So, what the heck, man? Okay. I don't know. There's just some kind of condition that's you get a certain set of conditions to get it to make this noise, man. It's not doing it. Okay, well anyway, yeah, we've got the heat coming, so okay, so my guess is that because it's charging the battery, that it's gonna run the heat pump when it's charging. Okay, so it was just charging, so I just unplugged it. All right, so what I'm gonna do is yeah, leave it unplugged, and then we'll come back later. Okay, we'll come back in a few hours. Okay, I'm gonna turn this back off. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Hopefully it's still cold by then, and then this will be the third test. Okay, all right, and I will leave the charger. I'll leave the charger unhooked. All right, no charging. All right, Hazemega's just gonna leave it like this. Okay, yeah, all right, here we go. Okay, shut it off. All right, poor thing, it's got like stage fright. It won't do it anymore. Well, I guess that's a good thing. If it doesn't do it anymore, then it doesn't bother me, man. To me, maybe they did fix it. They just didn't tell me. I don't know. All right, here we go. We're gonna leave it unplugged, all right? I'm not gonna plug it in, or we'll just let it get cold, and then we'll fire the heater up. All right, Hazemeга here. It's about noon right now, and like I said, I pulled the charger, and we're gonna go see if it's not super duper cold anymore, unfortunately. So I don't know if it's gonna make the noise. It's actually warm inside here. So. All right, here it goes. Turn it on. about 64 degrees right now. It says. Oh, there it is. Well, isn't that nuts, guys? I finally got it to make the noise, man. This is only the like 7th time I've tried to get it to do it. Yeah, it's the 7th time, and I find 7 out of 8, right? So, or 1 out of 8. We still got to do it one more time. All right, I'm probably gonna come back later. Right? What I might do is do this again. So that seems to be the conditions right there, guys. Vehicle's cold, start up in EV mode, and no, it has to not be charging. Okay, so I think if it's cold and it's charging, the heat pump system is actually warming the battery. So like it's already on. All right, the heat pump's already been used. So you have to let the heat pump start from like nothing. Okay, it has to not be running. So when you're using the battery, when you're charging the battery, all right, or if you have just if you were in the process of charging the battery, it won't make the noise. All right, guys, it has to not be plugged in. So, but it just did it. There you go. So I'm gonna try to keep on repeating this. All right, so there's one more test for today, and then I'm gonna do another we're gonna do another 4 tests tonight. The conditions for the other set of tests, all right, there'll be a different video, I guess. You got to make sure you have you have to make sure you have charge in the battery. All right, make sure you have charge in the battery. Don't be charging the vehicle, or don't be plugged in. All right, but it has to have charge in the battery, and then turn the heater on after starting the vehicle cold. All right, and then it'll make the noise. It just did it. All right, you heard it. It was like 2, 3, 4 seconds, something like that. It's pretty loud. So what happened is you hear the humming of the heat pump, all right, the compressor, and then you hear that loud kind of horn sound. All right, I wish I could get a sound of it outside the vehicle. I'll just put a tripod out there and do it. But yeah, it's very noticeable sound, and like, yeah, the vehicle vibrates and stuff a little bit. Right, I've heard like it could vibrate like a whole lot. All right, but it mine doesn't vibrate a lot. All right, but you could definitely feel it and hear it, you know. So mine looks like it's affected by it. Okay, so we're gonna shut the vehicle down. All right, the heater turned on. We're gonna shut the vehicle down and then start it up. Man, I don't know, like at like 4 o'clock. How about that? All right, at 1600 hours, we'll come back for our last test. All right, and it'll be EV mode tests, not plugged in. All right, and then we'll see if we can reproduce the sound, and then I will do the test again using those conditions. Right, so it has to be a very specific set of conditions that have to be met to make this sound. All right, and Hades Omega's just been screwing it up for the last 7 times. So last 6 times, I mean. All right, okay, so next one will be the last test. All right, and then I will go over all the tests that we did. Okay, all right, Hades Omega. Okay, Hades Omega here. It's I don't know, it's like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and yeah, 3:20, 15:20. And we're going to fire it up for the last time and test it. All right, here we go. And then I'm going to charge it. Okay, we're going to hit auto, AC off, and listen. Okay, here's the pump. Get that? Wasn't very long. All right, it's about 64 degrees outside. It's pretty warm. It got pretty close to the 70s today, so today's the warmest day so far. Okay, so I mean, the colder it is, the worse the sound is. But you heard how loud that was. It was like 2 seconds, but it was pretty loud this time, right? It was actually louder than last time that we fired it up. Okay, so that is the conditions. All right, I will make another video, and we're gonna do another 4. We're gonna test it another 4 times. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it to do that sound 4 times. So far, I got it to do it 2 in a row. All right, and it's warm right now. All right, it's 60 degrees. It's not warm, but it's cool. So I want to say, well, wait. I will wait till later tonight to do it. Okay. Oh, but anyway, I'm gonna shut it off now. Okay, and so ends the Hades Omega's heat pump noise vlog, or so experiment type of thing. All right, so I found out the exact conditions in which the a 2021 Rav4, all right, that has that loud train horn noise when it starts up when it's cold. All right, so these are the conditions that we tested under, and then finally what we found out, like, it has to be a specific set of conditions. All right, guys, and I went over it earlier, I know, but we're gonna go through the whole, I'm gonna go through the whole scientific experiment. All right, so what we were gonna do is I was gonna test it in hybrid mode 4 times. I was gonna try to duplicate this this noise 4 times. All right, because remember, one could be, like, you know, a fluke, 2 could be a coincidence, but 3 means like it's repeatable. All right, it could, you know, it is, you know, more, it's very likely to happen. All right, the chances of it happening, all right, it's normal type of thing. All right, and then just to double check, we went 4 times. All right, so we did 4 and 4. All right, we did 4 tests in hybrid mode. All right, hybrid mode, we let the vehicle cool down. I turned the heater off before I turn the vehicle off. When we go and start up the vehicle when it's cold, all right, after sitting for a couple hours, all right, maybe like 3-4 hours, all right, and pretty cold weather. And so what we found out in hybrid mode, every time it doesn't make the noise. All right, so if you start your vehicle up in hybrid mode and you turn the heater on, it will not use the heat pump. All right, it won't use, or it won't make that noise. All right, it won't. I don't know if it does use the heat pump, but from what I found out is that it takes longer to heat up. All right, the heater takes longer to warm up because when you're in hybrid mode, it uses the engine. It uses the engine's heater core. All right, like a traditional internal combustion engine, it uses the heater core to heat the cabin. All right, it doesn't use the heat pump, and it takes longer. All right, what I noted is it took maybe like maybe a minute or 2 for the fan to actually kick on. For the fan only kicks on when heat is being generated. All right, okay, and then so after that I charged the vehicle. All right, so here's the interesting part. All right, I was charging the vehicle, and then we were going to do EV mode tests. All right, so I said, oh, you know what, let's just do it while it's charging. All right, so we turned the vehicle on. All right, we're going to do 4 times in EV mode, all right, to get this to happen. And then so while it was on and charging, I turned the vehicle on. All right, and then we turned the heater on and didn't make the noise. Okay, so and then what happened? Okay, then we waited a couple more hours, then we unplugged it again. All right, it's plugged in right now. So I unplugged it before doing the test. All right, so I turned the vehicle on, turned the heater on again, full blast, right, and then and no noise. Okay, and then also we did what I did find out is that when you have it in EV mode, it runs off of the heat. It runs off of the heat pump. All right, you can hear the humming of the heat pump. It's really quiet too, so you can hear it. And it heats up way faster with the heat pump. All right, it produces heat much faster. It's much more efficient than using the internal combustion engine to make it hot. All right, and then but it didn't make the noise. All right, so and then the third time I left the vehicle unplugged. All right, I left the vehicle unplugged. We came back early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. Turned the vehicle on, turn the heater on, and guess what? It made the noise, okay? So, didn't make it very long. Yeah, sometimes mine doesn't, it's not super duper loud on mine, but yeah, I mean, like, the one you just heard right now was loud, all right? So it did make the noise, all right? So, and then just to double check, for the 4th test, all right, we left the vehicle wasn't plugged in, and I did the same thing. Turned the vehicle on, turned the heat on, and then it made the noise, okay? It made it for like 2 seconds. And even it's almost like 70 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It's almost, I would say, warm, all right? It's almost warm, and it still made the noise, okay? So these are the specific conditions that has to happen for the heat pump noise to happen, right? The train horn, all right? The foghorn noise, all right? So what has to happen is oh yeah, okay. So this is the reason why we found out. This is the reason why it doesn't make the noise after it's being charged, all right? Or after it has just been charged, or if it's while it's charging, all right? Like in my room mode, okay? Because you could use the heat pump in my room mode, all right? It doesn't make the noise while it's charging because it uses the heat pump to warm the battery, all right? So in cold weather, it's going to use some power to run that heat pump to heat up the batteries to the ideal charging temperature, and then it's already on, all right? The heat pump has already been on. So if you turn the vehicle on while it's charging and the heat pump is already warmed up the battery, right? It what's the word? It won't make the noise, all right? Because the heat pump is already on and the system's already been warmed and all that, and then now you're just kind of trying to warm the cabin up from that, okay? So so that's the reason why it will not make the noise after you charge it, or after you have just charged it, all right? Because I unplugged it, and then so the battery would have been warm already, right? The heat pump would have been warm, all right? And then or if you try to do it in my room mode while it's charging, it will not make the sound, okay? Now here's what has to happen to make the sound, all right? You cannot, like I said, you can't have it plugged in charging, all right? Or you can't have just pulled it off charging, all right? The car has to be cold, all right? It has to be no charging at all, but it has to have some charge in it, all right? It has to be able to start up in EV mode. If your battery doesn't have any charge, it will not start up. It won't run in EV mode at all. If there's no charge in the battery, there will be you cannot run it in EV mode. So it will default to hybrid mode when you start it. And in hybrid mode, it doesn't make the sound, all right? Because it uses the internal combustion engine's heater core to produce heat for the cabin, okay? So you have to have the prerequisite is you have to have charge in the battery, enough charge to start it up in EV mode, all right? The vehicle has to be cold, all right? You can't, the temperatures have to be pretty cool, okay? If it's like a summer day or something, it's probably not going to make the noise, all right? But I verified that up to 70 degrees, it will still make the sound, all right? If the vehicle is cold, all right? So it's got to have some charge in the battery. You've got to start it up in EV mode, and then you turn the heater on, all right? And then after those 3 conditions are met, all right, charge in the battery, start up in EV mode, turn the heater on. You'll hear the heat pump humming, and then you'll hear like something like a valve opening, and it'll make that loud horn noise, okay? The heat pump noise. Okay, so those are just, there has to be 3 specific conditions to and like cold. It has to be cold, all right? That's another prerequisite. It's got to be cold, all right? Like less than, or yeah, like less than 70 degrees is what I'm gonna say. So that concludes my experiment. I'm gonna do another experiment. I'm gonna try to repeat this 4 times in a row, or I've already done it like 2 times in a row, but I'm gonna start another video, all right, another vlog, and we're gonna do this 4 times after I charge it, all right? I'm gonna charge it up all the way, all right? I'm gonna charge the vehicle up all the way, and then we're gonna try to reproduce this sound 4 times while the weather is really cold, okay? So I'm gonna wait till the sun comes down, and then we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it in maybe like 3 or 4 hour intervals, okay? Just like we did last night with the hybrid mode, right? That's the ideal conditions to do it in, when the weather is cold, all right? Less than 70 degrees is ideal, and then it will make that sound, okay? So yeah, I know, I was just scratching my head. I can't get it to make that sound again, and I found out the conditions that have to happen. So when I dropped my vehicle off at the dealer, there was no charge in the battery. I even, you know what, I even told the service service manager, right, the service advisor, in a text message saying, hey, there's no charge in the battery. It won't start up in EV mode. I think it has to be in EV mode. And so I asked them, like, hey, can you charge it for a little bit and then test it, you know, after you let it cool down? And yeah, they didn't do it apparently. That's why they could not reproduce the sound, because when I picked up my vehicle, it had no charge in the battery. Okay, when I drove it there, it had no charge in the battery. So when you start it up, it's going to start up in a hybrid mode, and it will not make the sound. All right, those are the conditions that has to happen. All right, it's got to be cold. It's got to have charge in the battery. You've got to start it up in EV mode, and then you've got to turn the heater on. All right, those are the 4 conditions. All right, okay, I said 3, but it's 4 conditions. Right, 2 prerequisites. It's got to be cold. All right, it's got to have charge in the battery, and it's got to if you got to turn it on in EV mode. Obviously, if you have charge, your vehicle will default to EV mode when you turn it on. All right, and then yeah, because if you did turn it on and then you put it to hybrid mode, then you turn the heater on, it's not going to make the noise. All right, guys. Okay, so yeah, those are the conditions. So if you can get your dealer to reproduce those noises, all right, if they have to be able to witness it, all right, they can update the software for the heat pump amplifier or the compressor amplifier thingy, whatever the thing that needs to be that it needs a new calibration file. Okay, so okay, so that's the end of the experiment. Check out my next vlog where we try to reproduce it 4 times in a row. Okay, all right, thanks for watching. Here's me go.